Alright, so before we start today's video, I just want to quickly say thank you to those who have subscribed lately. I appreciate it. Whether you want to see this car succeed or fail, I'm glad you joined in to watch. I'm curious to see what happens as well. So once again, thank you. Let's get into it. With that being said, nothing has changed in 2 weeks on this car. We're still rocking the trans on the trans jack. So we're going to drop this down and start smashing it with a sledgehammer. I did, however, get a radiator for it, and it actually fits up in here pretty nice. I did have to smash this flat again. I don't know if you remember, it had a nice little curve to it. So we just took a sledgehammer to it and straightened it out. Maybe I'll throw it up in there real quick and show you how it looks, but it's more shiny parts on a turd. Okay, just quickly massaging it with the mallet. If we, let's come up over here. If you look, so that hole is just barely off back there on the transmission up there. So that hole is just barely off. It is what it looks like for me is a 1/2 inch. So doing that quick massage worked out great. I'm actually going to take and we're going to loosen this up here and see if I can rotate it down. If it comes together, it should clear. So once this comes together, it should clear all this stuff and be mounted up. I'll just have to, whenever I do the transmission, I'll have to drop the back of that engine down so that it can slide up and in around the clutch pack. So I'm going to hop up there, loosen up that, and then we will go from there. Alright, so now we're too high on this side, which is a great problem to have. So you can see that bolt hole's way past, but the side's still too low, and it won't go any higher because see that lovely spray paint job? Well, that's hitting it. So what we're going to do is we're going to smash this in more, and we're going to cut the tab off on that. And that should give us all the room we need to get those two to line up. It's getting there. If I do that, it should fit right in. Should. So it didn't need to be a lot, just enough. So I took off basically where that bolt is, that bolt hole's at, with my handy dandy hacksaw. So got it close as I could, and then whacked it with a hammer. See a couple spots where it's bare, but it didn't need a lot, it just needs enough, which between this and then pounding on it will be plenty of room. So now I can go ahead and massage that in. Alright, we have so much room around the entire thing now. It's going to fit nice. The only thing, let's see if I can show you guys. Alright, you see that nut dead square in the center of the screen? That guy? Well, now that's hitting the bottom, and that's the only thing that's hanging up. Everything else is free. You know, all the way around on both sides. So hopefully I can pull it out one more time and just bang the crap out of that, and then it should fit in there almost like factory. Even my whole location is going to be really, really close. Alright, so recap on everything I've done to make this fit. So we massaged some right here, up right here, dead in the center, like right there mostly to make that top nut fit, and then this side over here just to give it a little more clearance. I don't even know if this side over here was necessary, but we did it. So now let's try this one more time. Yep. Okay. 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 It's together. Alright, the trans jack's right here with no trans. That means one thing. That means it's up in the car. Well, temporarily at least. So what we have going on is the factory trans mount for the Mustang. I actually took and cut the center out of this, and that was enough to actually hold it up into place perfect. So this has about a degree and a half slope on the rear of it, which it needs. Downside is that it barely touches on this front side and not that back side. Now, it shouldn't be touching anyways. So what I'm going to do is I'm probably just going to make a plate that drops down along this back side and cut this front piece off. And then something along those lines. I don't know yet. Second, that oil drain plug is not coming out with the transmission in place. Wonderful design, I know. So I'm probably just going to end up welding one in here, even though I didn't want to. No way around that unless I want to pull the transmission every time I drain the oil. That's rather frustrating. So now I can continue on and finish up that engine mount. Finish up this. I can actually get my drive shaft ordered in the meantime, because now I have the distance that it needs to be. I can take and measure that out. I can cut that hole. Like I said, it was going to be really close. And as you can see, I only need to cut about, I'd say it's about an inch. And then I will get a shifter that is just a push forward so that it'll end up in the factory location. But there you go. And so I think I'm going to wrap this video up with that. You can hear the Camaro idling in the background. Decided to start it and let it idle for a minute. At some point I need to address this. It's still overheating. I think it's my thermostat that's causing it to overheat. I mean, it's 20 degrees out here and it's still getting warm. So at some point we will address that issue with this in the near future. Because I got some events I'd like to hit, but I think we're sitting, can you see that? So we're sitting 191 right now, but even with it being in the 20s, it'll creep up, it'll creep into the 230 range. It's unmanageable. It's almost like the thermostat is an opening or it's plugged on that side, because if you look, that's where the coolant was leaking that I addressed a few videos back. So I'd like to get that addressed so we can hit some races this next year. But one big win is figuring out that oil pressure issue is having, so the engine's essentially up to temp. It's actually dropping right now. It does this for a little bit and then it overheats. But we're idling at 38 psi oil, where before I'd have 0. So I think getting all that sludge out really helped, and putting that big oil filter on really helped out. It gives them more of an option for it to flow, so we have more until it plugs up. But it's cold, kind of cold-blooded. I didn't really want to start it for a second. Once it got going, it fired right off. But let's send you off with a little foot brake.